Weekend coming up, and my goodness, will we be rooting for good weather. We'll see how that all works out. But assuming everything's okay, it's a big weekend starting Friday with baseball against TCU, and then Saturday, a full day. And so pleased to have joining us here on the hotline, University of Texas Senior Associate Athletics Director Drew Martin, who's on the line. Drew, I appreciate the time. How are you today?
Craig, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Safe to say we've all got, fingers and toes crossed and everything with regard to the weather forecast for the weekend?
We do. We've been in constant contact, and you know how it is. If you're in Texas and you don't like the weather, just wait about 20 minutes. It's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in constant contact with our meteorologists, with everybody, and it looks like as of right now, and it's only Wednesday, but it looks like that the threat of rain really isn't until later in the afternoon, around that 2 to 3 o'clock period. But anything can change between now and then. Everything on Saturday begins early at 9 a.m. So we're excited to do all of our fun game day things from Bevo Boulevard, Smokies Midway, Hook'em Hangout, Longhorn City Limits, the whole shebang, like it's a regular season football game. That's all going to start at 9 a.m. So we should be well clear of the weather that morning and even into the game time at 1 p.m. So I feel really good about where we are right now.
Drew, when did you and CDC and the rest of the staff, in examining the full game day experience because what you guys have done has been absolutely phenomenal with Bevo Boulevard and stuff during the games. And I know this has been growing with regard to the spring game. Was it a plan all along, or has this developed over time to let's make the orange-white day, let's make the spring game day, as close to a reasonable facsimile of a game day experience in the autumn on campus? How long is this kind of thing in the process that got you to this point with the events lining up and the things that you're going to do this weekend?
Yeah, that's a great question and great insight. It really started, the whole concept around Texas football game day really began. Chris and I were together at TCU, and we were coming in as opponents. And, it was one of the things that we really noticed about coming to Texas was that, people were kind of late arriving. It was kind of a slow starting crowd on a football game day. And we just kept wondering why that was. And then having the opportunity and been blessed with the opportunity to be here and take a real hard look at it and challenge and change the way that game days run here around football season for sure. And that 2018 fall was our first football season here when we started all this stuff. And Chuck Branch on the staff does a phenomenal job of really being kind of the three-ring circus master at all of our events, of keeping us all moving forward and innovating. But, we took a look after the season, said spring game, there's no reason why, spring game shouldn't be as big of an activity. It's all these events are free on a football game day, and the football game itself is free for the spring game. Why not continue this tradition and really elevate and reinforce the idea that football game days at the University of Texas are grandiose? They are fun. They're jam-packed with all kinds of things for family and kids of all ages, to come and participate in. So why aren't we treating this like a major epic event, and over time being able to grow all these activations, being able to really kind of lead this space, not but definitely lead this space in college football, if not in the pro ranks as well. But then align with campus on why can't we line this up with family weekend? Why can't we make this a massive open house for the University of Texas? Isn't it great that we've got a huge baseball series this weekend, Craig?
Yeah.
We got TCU coming to town. It's just a giant opportunity for us to showcase the University of Texas to current families, to future families, and to the city of Austin. And that's why we call it Made in Austin Weekend. This is all things Austin for this weekend. It's so much fun.
Visiting with Drew Martin here, talking about this Made in Austin Weekend, and of course, like I said, it's scheduled to begin Friday night with a baseball game at TCU. Is it safe to say, Drew, at least, and you'll continue, like you said, to monitor weather, that there might even be the mathematical possibility of looking at the prospect of having to reschedule baseball if things get really bad for Saturday night into possibly a doubleheader either Friday or Sunday, depending on TCU schedule, on the baseball, all that kind of stuff, all of those factors that you have to factor in.
All those wonderful things. All that I hear in my head right now is Chris Del Conte going, you're not Al Roker. You can't tell the weather. So it's just way too early to be talking out of all the thing. But I would say with any outdoor, with baseball particularly, and it's a sport near and dear to my heart since I'm the oversight of it, that anything can happen in the spring all over the country. So we're always ready to make calls and make moves if we need to. But that's the very last resort. We want to get as close to the game times as possible to really get a good handle on what truly is happening outside, and not playing not playing prognosticator on what the weather is or isn't going to do on a Wednesday when we don't play till Friday night or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's a good point there. Okay, let me get back to Saturday, and I'm going to go line item here. I'm going to ask you for folks who've never experienced it before, never experienced the game day atmosphere, never experienced, maybe in the past they didn't have tickets for a specific football game. And I've heard you say this before. I think I've heard CDC say this before. This is a great kind of trial balloon, I guess, for folks to experience what a Longhorn football game day atmosphere and environment is like if they haven't done it before and maybe they've just hesitated to do it. So you start at 9 o'clock in the morning with Bevo Boulevard presented by H-E-B, Smokies Midway, and the Hook'em Hangout. That opens up, and the autograph session and the Still Austin Music Lounge. All of this stuff is starting at 9 a.m., isn't it?
It is. It starts at 9 a.m. And the best news about all this for a lot of folks is the majority of parking on campus is free that day. So we really work hard to eliminate barriers of why you can't come and be a part of this. So, check out texassports.com/made-in-Austin, and it's going to have maps on there of all the free parking options. It's going to have a timeline of when everything begins. To your point, it all opens up officially at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning with Bevo Boulevard presented by H-E-B, Longhorn City Limits presented by Still Austin Whiskey, Smokies Midway, Hook'em Hangout with a dozen food trucks. Big Bertha is going to be out there with her 24 taps of cold craft beer out there for you. So, and another huge piece of news I found out this morning, Fletcher's Corny Dogs are coming back to DKR Texas Memorial Stadium, and that starts Saturday. They'll be outside on Smokies Midway. They won't quite be inside the stadium yet. We're still making some changes and some construction going on with our concession stands, but by the fall we'll have Fletcher's Corny Dogs in the stadium. But it reminds me of that great game up in Dallas, that All-State Red River rivalry, where I think all Texas fans are used to a nice ice cold Bud Light and a Fletcher's Corny Dog in the morning to get the day started right. You're going to be able to do that on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a great point. Hey, listen, there's something else I noticed I didn't know about. The Team Shop fire sale that's going on outside Gate 28D, so folks can really gear up if they haven't already.
Fans get so excited about this. That opens at 9 a.m. as well. It's such a great opportunity to shop, or basically you're shopping our equipment room. It is stuff that does not hit the retail stores. You can't buy it at Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy or even at some of our shops like the Co-op. I mean, they've got great merchandise opportunities all year long, but this is your one opportunity to come and shop where, we distribute gear to the players and the coaches and the staff. Our Twitter lights up every year. I love what Coach Stark is wearing on the sideline. Well, unfortunately, that's just a team issue gear. That's team issue gear. That's team issue gear. Well, now you have the chance to shop the team issue gear, and that starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday as well.
Wow. Okay. All right. So explain to me. You don't have to explain Reckless Kelly to me. I'm well acquainted with Reckless Kelly, but explain the Sentimental Family Band, because they're up first at 10 o'clock in the morning at LCL, and then Reckless Kelly afterwards.
I got you. It's going to be very exciting. That Sentimental Family Band followed by Reckless Kelly. Nice little slice of Americana out there for you. It's going to be a good opening act. And I was joking with Chuck Branch earlier that Willie and Cody Braun, who just become huge Texas Longhorns fans over there, they should start to think about a career in the WWE and call themselves the Braun Brothers. I think that has a nice ring to it too. But Sentimental Family Band is going to open it up at 10 a.m. Great entertainment for the whole family, sentimental or not. And then Reckless Kelly, we all know our good friends there, and they're going to put on a heck of a show. Excited. We got the Tito's Tailgate out there, Still Austin Music Lounge for sure as the presenting sponsor of LCL. And then Stubbs Barbecue, a fan favorite, is going to be out there as well, cooking up fresh brisket.
All right. The last question I have for you, and it's Sunday for the baseball game against TCU, is Bark in the Park Day. I haven't asked you before. Do you have a dog, and would you be taking a dog out to the Yeti Yard on Sunday?
I would love to. So my husband and I are actually discussing whether or not we had dogs in the past. They they were with us a long, long time and passed away at 16 and 15 years old. And so it's about time that we start looking at a nice little shelter rescue and bringing a pup out to bark in the park. And that's going to be awesome inside the Yeti yard. That's just going to be a great area. You've seen it at baseball games, that open the public area. So we'll have I keep calling it bark in the yard this time. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, the day is coming. Maybe not this season. This may take some advanced planning, but I want to do this Harry Carey Wrigley Field style and actually broadcast from the Yeti yard someday.
I would love that.
All right. We'll work on that for down the road. The big weekend here, the Celebrate the 40 Acres and Family Weekend here, and Made in Austin this particular weekend. Baseball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and of course the Orange-White Spring Game, which is at 1:00. Presented by the Texas One Fund, the kickoff at 1. Drew, always great to see you. Look forward to seeing you at the ballpark and at DKR this weekend. Thanks for taking the time.
You as well. We'll see you this weekend.